Hi, and thank you for talking to Scroll about Kohrra. The show seemed to have been a self-contained first season. What prompted a second season? Was there a need for a second season?
Uh, yeah, I mean, when we wrote the first season, I'll be honest. I mean, so I always write them self-contained. Even the other work that I've done, I like the story to start and end. You know, and give that satisfying feeling at the end of it, or having watched a complete story. I don't personally.
Because as a kid, you used to hate cliffhangers.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of leaving story, especially if you're getting people to invest so much time in 4 to 6 hours of their busy lives into watching something and then leave them hanging. It's kind of it's not satisfying personally for me. So it was self-contained. What the question that Gunjit Diggy and I asked ourselves when we started working on it was, or when we were told that, okay, the platform is interested in another season, was do we have more of this setting? Do we have more of these characters to dive into? And it was really, or are there other aspects of this land and these bunch of people that we can look into, which we haven't really been able to explore. And it really kind of came from there, and we sat and we discussed it for a couple of weeks and said, yeah, there is, we didn't immediately jump into it. It was like, oh, okay, we will have to probably take some hard calls, which is where the character of Balbir had to make an exit, because we really realized that it's done. If we try to bring him into the second season, then then this question would have made me defensive, probably, that, oh, was there a need to do, because it really was, the story ended, the emotional arc of the character ended, and it would have um, it it would have felt a little bit of, oh, okay, because it worked, yet they're doing it another time. His character had a lot more of the story left. He was going on the character, we left him not in a cliffhangery sort of way, but it was, okay, Garundi got married at the end of the first season, so there was some sort of a happy ending to his story, maybe. But what if it wasn't? And that was the question, and that's the question that we are exploring with this particular character. And then entered the other character. So we're like, how about we he's transferred and we go to a different place, and there is another cop that he's now reporting to, who he doesn't get along with as well as he got along with his first boss, initial boss. And then we were like, okay, there are, and even in terms of the thematics, are there other themes that we could explore this time round? And the first one, say, on the surface, it had patriarchy, it had the NRI fascination, it had a lot of those things, and we're like, okay, are there other things that we're not looked at? Um, is there a is there a love between a husband and a wife, and something that is sad, and something, would that be more fun to explore? And so these are the things that we kind of came up with for this particular season, and it felt worth exploring, and that's how we ended up on this journey.
Well, you answered 5 of my questions in one shot. Maybe I should just leave. But a couple of things you've said. One is the souring of things. That's what really the first season was also about. Also, this myth of happy endings. When you end the show with a supposedly happy ending, you see the faces of other people at the wedding and you realize that it's really not the case. Kohrra means many things to many of its fans. I'd like to ask all of you, what is your takeaway from the show? For some people, it was about the general rot in Punjab. For some people, it's a show about relationships. What is Kohrra to each of you? What does the show represent to each of you?
To me, love. It really, and various kinds of love. Love between, say, a father and a daughter.
Yeah.
That it was in the first season in one of the stories. It could be illicit love. It could be forbidden love. It could be love between two brothers. This season, again, it's an exploration of love for me in that sense. A probably different kinds of love. It's about, like I mentioned, love that is sad. Uh, uh, it's about lack of acceptance in long-standing relationships. It's about inability to move ahead with setbacks and tragedies, and how possibly love is the only solution out of that. So a lot of those things. For me, the show is always first and foremost, murder is just a distraction. Actually, the show is about love.
For me, I think it's got to do with the volatility uh, of the human nature. Yeah.
And I mean, you're coming into this show sort of, you're sort of, and when you watched Kohrra without knowing at some point you were going to be in it.
Oh, I had no idea I was going to be in it, but I was really, really hoping to be in season 1. But obviously, God had bigger plans for me for season 2, and I was more than happy to be approached for season 2. It's a beautiful character, very complex, very, very layered, and also, shifting the dynamics from romance and brotherhood to, reporting to a female officer, and also she finding her bearings in a law enforcement place where masculinity is celebrated, where mostly women are they feel like the outsiders, and the constant urge to prove over and over again. So for me, the takeaways are learning to let go, things which no longer serve any purpose, to let go, to accept, and of course, like Sir said, love. It's all about love, loving yourself and loving the people around you. It's finding love all over again.
Faisal, this is the first time you're directing.
That's right.
Yeah. So, how did you sort of? What was you had watched the show? What was your experience like working with Sudip and working with both Mona and Barun?
So just to continue on the chain of what Sir said and Mona ma'am said, how it's about love, it is that, and it is in a very intense and tearing way that season 1 affected me, and when I came on board season 2, I think it was the 4th episode. When that's episode got ready and Sir had sent me the script, I read that and I was torn. I was torn inside, and then I remember calling him and telling him, "Ki sir, ye jo season hai na, ye love is a dog from hell hai." And he said, "Yeah, this is what we were going for in season 1 as well." So it is love, but that love is so tumultuous. It is so unsettling, very reflective, and it just takes us on a journey in which it makes us reflect on our own personal journeys. And I think when stories do that, they enter us in a very special and deep way. So that's how I look at that show. Baki, I've been working with Sudip sir for 2 seasons of Patal Lok as well. So there was a shared understanding. There was an aesthetic alignment of how he would look at things, and I would pick on that and then help him in ways that I could contribute. Yeah, and these 2 fabulous actors, I don't even know where to begin about it. They are the life and the blood and the face of the show. It's been a very special experience just having their presence, having them express what we are working so rigorously to say, and they do it in an easiness which is very disarming and very fulfilling. So yeah, thank you.
No, thank you.
What does the Punjab setting bring to the show? Could the show have been in any other place?
I mean, murder mystery, yeah, sure. It could have been in, murders happen all over the country, but it would be another show. If we take Punjab out of the show, or if we take the show out of Punjab and set it in, if I was to make it in UP, it wouldn't be Kohrra. Even with the same storyline and everything, the texture of Punjab is in the show is so hard coded, and it's so rooted that if we change that setting, it would become entirely something else. And a lot of, it's not that some of the things that we have shown across the 2 seasons could not happen, or these characters could not exist, but there would be differences which would be stark in just the choices they make and how they behave and how the environment sort of influences them. I think there would be a big difference.
So is it the value system? Is it the soil? What is it? Is it the fields that we see in which things are, bodies and other things are?
I think there are. I mean, it's all those little things which go on to sort of make this world. It would be difficult to point at one thing, but I think it's the language, it's just the way the people behave in Punjab and in the show. It's also our responses. It's also the sort of societal structures which are kind of very specific in Punjab, and Punjab in that sense is sort of the odd one out in North India. It speaks a different language to the rest of North India. It's a different religion to the rest of North India, and a very specific sort of a culture in the sort of this hegemony of this otherwise singular culture that exists in the rest of North India. So because of that, I think if you change that, a lot of it will change. There is Punjab, I think, in everything about the show.
It's kind of like the spirit of the
Yeah.
Barun, you're one of the people who's there in the second season as well. I'm really waiting to see what your character does. Tell me about your experience of working in the second season, revisiting the character, but also moving in a different direction and working with a new co-star.
Oh, so Mona, I'm going to start with Mona. She hit the ground running. Everyone was, we spent a lot of time together, and actually Mona came in, it was like snap, everything just fit into place. So thank you for that.
Oh, thank you.
And honestly, I don't have a very long answer. I had a ball.
That sounds a little bit like Garundi as well. You had a great sort of run recently. Your show Raat Ke Liye was Rajawan Hai was so fantastic, and I hope there's a second season. Is there a second season?
I have no idea. I have to ask Sony Lives.
Oh dear. But you as well, you've also been in films very frequently of late. Both of you have had a good time with streaming. And there's always this question of streaming versus film. So what have your experiences been like? What is streaming allowing you to do that other, perhaps cinema, doesn't allow you to do?
Okay.
It's more layered, I feel.
Yeah.
Streaming.
And you have the long format allows you more.
Yeah, to explore more.
And honestly, films are not written that well these days. So whatever options I usually get, level from the OTT options, the long format writing allows the writer to layer up your character way more than a 2-hour film does. And I'm not honestly saying this out of despise or anything of that sort. So that's why I just said it to someone. Like, if it was not for streaming, I would have not have had a career, or at least I would have not been a happy human being.
Because you had a flourishing career on television, so.
Yeah. But then the
and
thing
Mona, you too. I mean, both of you all have come from TV, to streaming via films in a way, right?
Yeah, and just to cop, I remember there was a time when there was streaming started, House of Cards and stuff like that had started happening, and I was like, I wish this happens in India, and my wish came true.
Okay, fan expectations are really high from season 2. What have you all kept, without giving, of course, anything away about the show? What have you all kept and what have you all changed, if anything at all, or done differently so that fans can get something else from the show? Could all of you all, maybe Mona as a fan of the first season and now as a sort of participant can answer that, but if you can just tell us a little bit about, without giving anything away.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't tried to repeat ourselves or try to sort of look at the first season as a formula and say, okay, let's, what is it that worked, and let's try and do more of that all over again. We haven't done that. I think in some way, the first season, if I can say, was a balancing act between an investigative drama and sort of a character study of these people. And that was really the only sort of guiding light for the second season as well, that okay, are there more interesting ways in which we can murder someone and do that investigation? and can we have like equally interesting people and go on a journey with them? And that really was what set us out on this path, and that's what we have tried to do. And
Right. Right.
Boliye.
I think the heart of the show is a little more out on the sleeve. I think we are a little more affirmative. I think we are a little more bolder in expressing the love that the characters are going through, what their inner battles are, and yeah, I'm just very excited and keen to see how that is received.
I think one of the reasons Kohrra was really loved is also because it's so a lot of people call it slow burning. I don't like that word because it can be negative, but it allows you to experience things as, you know, without cutting too fast or speeding things up. As creators, what do you all feel about that? And as actors, how does that help your performances? How does it bring it out?
So every story has its own, sort of tonality, which is, which comes from the writing itself, really, and it was the writing that sort of guided us. A story about relationships, a story about characters, necessarily, you have to spend time with them. You have to know them instead of just, cutting to the next beat and, moving from one story beat to another or one piece of action to another. And that kind of guided us into how to shoot it and how to edit it, and even the use of music and the sound design, everything kind of comes from that. I would let them answer what it means.
I mean, for me, what happens is that it makes me really comfortable, to be honest with you. It gives you time with respect to the fact that where you can comprehend and enact instead of just reacting kind of a thing. So that's why I think I love the slow burn long format.
Yeah, there's kind of osmosis you're absorbing.
Yeah.
And I think they are I experienced this for the first time where, normally I've done shows and movies where everything is fast paced. The minute your actor with you in the scene finishes the dialogue, you need to go boom. You need to start.
Yeah.
But here I was told to just take it slowly,
And so we did.
and enjoy the silences.
Yeah.
This show is much more quieter, darker, and lets you breathe, gives you that time to just settle in, sink in. And that's what I really loved. I love the beat of the show. It's beautiful.
The character Mona ma'am plays in this is very different from how Mona ma'am is in real life.
Yeah.
So, as we got along shooting, I started noticing something. We would be sitting on the monitor, and the shot is being set up, and she is, suppose, like in a chair or wherever she is, and there are things happening. There are some last-minute checks happening. So, and actors know like exactly how much time is left for the take, and they are kind of mentally cluing into their part. I'm just sitting at the monitor, and I'm seeing her switch from the person she is to the character, and she's just sitting there, and there's a look that she's just giving in the distance, and like I can just feel her. I can feel her just slowing down, entering, and then a clap comes in, and there we are into that world. So to just see that and to see her getting into that zone, I think that showed me, okay, यहाँ पर मतलब इत्मीनान से हम लोग इधर घुस रहे हैं. Actors are also comfortable. They are being able to get into the rhythm that is required, and yeah, it was wonderful.
Okay. My time's up. So no itminan over here. But thank you so much, and
Thank
all the
you,
best for
Nandini.
the second
Thank you,
season.
and I hope you enjoy watching it.